Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be doing a make money step-by-step tutorial here on Zazzle. Now Zazzle is a little more complicated than some of the easier print-on-demands like Redbubble. They're both very profitable, but let's just be honest, Zazzle is a little bit more complicated. So I figured let's get deep into some content, tutorial content, click-by-click content, and just show you guys how I go about things when it comes down to making money on Zazzle. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you guys remember, the first thing I've always recommended before you do any kind of work on Zazzle, you want to make sure you do the research first. So it's going to be researching first. Now you want to think of any idea that comes to your head or what you feel comfortable designing, okay? Don't design anything yet. We're going to do the research first. So I might type up the word floral, for example, which just basically means flowers, right? And this is the way I do the research. Without looking too deep into it, very simple, pull out the Zazzle AI Tagger tool, which for those who don't know, you could find it at botsandapps.gumroad.com. Scroll down to this tool here. I'll actually leave my affiliate link in the description box down below. Let me go ahead and just click grab tag. So what the machine is going to do right now, the AI tagger, is it's going to study all the different data for the keyword that I just typed up and all the different results that show up. And it's going to give me a bunch of details. It's going to give me a bunch of keywords. These keywords, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to whip out a notepad, okay? So I'm going to whip out the notepad and paste it in the notepad. And I got a lot of keywords here, all right? So let's go ahead and read some of these keywords. We have watercolor floral, we have vintage, elegant botanical, boho chick, which boho I think it's like floral kind of stuff, like a green type floral. We have, let's see here, what else? We have gold pink, sage green, we have event planner. So I'm starting to look for things. When I see the keyword return, I'm thinking, okay, let's do a return address label. Now you guys might not think of it the same way it will come with time, so don't really stress too much. Now these keywords, all these different keywords, this is what the AI has assessed are profitable keywords. So instead of me logically taking my design and trying to fit those keywords in or squeeze those keywords in and maybe lose the chance of missing some stuff, why don't I create a piece of art that directly correlates to the keywords that I'm going for? So I'm going to just take out a few keywords here. We have watercolor flora. That might be something that's a little interesting. We'll take a look into that. We got the keyword florist. Florist I'm going to ignore. We have elegant botanical. That's very nice keyword right there. Okay, and I'm just going to list some of these out. We don't need to, we're not pressed for time here. We're not rushing to get the work done. We're just focusing on some success here. Here we have a keyword called baptism, christening, religious. These are actually good keywords because they're going to give us some indication as to maybe something we could create in the future, some sort of product. But I did say I want to use the word return, and that's just for the keyword for the return address. So this is just giving me the idea of the return address label. I don't really care about adding the keyword return in my product because it's going to be well known what the product actually is, right? So here, return address label. We have white, dark foliage, romantic flowers. So romantic flowers is a concept I could use, right? And guys, just because I'm pulling out these keywords doesn't necessarily mean I need to specifically use them in my tags. What I do need to do is I need to use them in my art, because this is literally telling me, this AI tool is literally telling me, what do people want? It's just that simple. So what I'm going to do here is just go on this create button, and I'm going to create a design. So I'm going to view all my blank products here, different options, and I'm going to search for return address label. So just like that. And we got a few here. So there are different options. I'm going to go with the default cheapest one. So default cheapest one here. And before I do this, I just want to have an idea of what other people are doing for these return address labels. So I'm going to open this link in a new tab. And it's important, yes, to come up with something different, but at the same time, you don't want to do something so different that it just doesn't work out. So I could see here where the return address labels are and how they look, and I think I could blow these guys out of the water for specifically a floral return address label. So the first thing we need is an address, okay? So first thing, let's go over here and add some text. Now, with our text box, we can add, some text that's different aspects of the address. So first line of the address, we have the actual location or the name. Then we have the location. Then we have, or the street address, whatever you want to call it. And then you have the city, state, zip, right? So I'm going to set this up like this. So I'm going to type in here the full address as one thing. So I could call this 123 Floral Lane, right? And then I could type in here, let me add in the name. Let's say the name is Stacy, I don't know, Stacy T. I don't know, right? We have 123 Floral Lane, and then let's do in Los Angeles, California. Just like that. And let's get a Los Angeles, California zip code. Okay. So we have some text here. Now, before we focus on the font and get into the specifics, let's start adding our actual art, because this is what's going to help us, kind of differentiate ourselves. So as I'm adding these files, it's important to realize that I'm not always going to use every single one of these, but I'm going to use it to where I can use it, right? I don't need to force myself to use every single one. I've added a whole bunch here, but you guys are just getting the concept of as what I'm looking to do, right? So let's just keep loading a little bit more. And let's take a look now at the keywords we have. Now, you want to make sure that your keywords somewhat match your art, right? So I could always whip out the notepad and watercolor floral, vintage wildflowers, elegant botanical. These are things that should matter, right? So the botanical, I'm just going to get rid of this, butterfly. I mean, I'm not going to need it too much. This I'm going to use, but since I'm going to have so much details in this, I need to organize, right? I need to separate where everything is going to be. So I need essentially a blank canvas almost of where I could see everything very clearly, right? So these bubbles I could put to the side here. This is like the green effect of these bubbles. We have a flower here, and I can make this smaller. Now, the cool thing about this, guys, is I don't have to be some sort of florist to know what I'm doing, okay? And I bet you all these other designers, they're not florists neither, either. They're just, creating, and that's all you need to do is you need to create. So let's go ahead and just, angle some stuff, and you could be creative as to how you do it. Now, remember, the more creativity you have, the better when it comes down to this kind of stuff, but graphics matter. This is the most important thing, is just understanding that, every little detail counts, and everything comes at a cost, right? The higher quality things are, the more money you're going to make. So let's just go ahead and increase this to size a little bit, put this here, kind of like that. And by the way, guys, if you ever want to see, there's a little preview here. Like, this already looks pretty good, right? But I still want a little more details to it. So I'll add this to the bottom. But I'll make this smaller because I do want to, use it. So make this image here, the selection smaller. And I'm going to rotate it just like that. And I don't want it to get it in the way, though, of my actual text, because that's important too, right? Because a consumer could look at this and say, oh, yeah, it looks really, really attractive, but it's just in the way. It's just too much going on. So we don't want that. I'm going to resize this. Kind of like that, right? And this is one of the cool things about Zazzle, is that it gives more people opportunity because it has this built-in designing kind of thing. There's a lot of people who maybe necessarily can't afford certain products and whatever, but, at the same time, it does provide a little bit more opportunity for, certain situations. So just like this, right? I can even make this smaller slightly and grab it and leave it here, and rotate it. So I can put this here, these little bubble effects kind of, put it in the way. And just like that, this is already looking pretty good. And obviously, somebody could argue that there's always more that could be done, and that's true. But I'm satisfied with the way this is looking so far. And just going to rotate this last piece here. Right here, let me rotate this. Kind of like this green thing. And it could be a little bit difficult time because of the layering and how many images you have on one screen. But I think overall, from a competitive approach, right, you look at something like this, and we preview this, this looks pretty good. All right, it does look like a floral return label address. But I wasn't able to create this piece of art until I actually learned what I needed to actually create. So once again, guys, this is simple. After I create this, just click done and start selling things. But look at that. That looks really, really good. And the way I need to edit this, I actually have to go back and edit this. But the way this should be edited is that consumers will be able to go in and edit this return address label, okay? And it looks really good, and it gets the job done. But I'm clicking done here just so you guys can see how it actually looks. And to me, this is I would say anywhere from 8 out of 10 to 10 out of 10 in terms of the design, the imagery, everything like that. But the reason why this design gets like a 5 stars is not just because of the design, but we reverse engineered the process. We found what was needed based on keywords. We implemented it into our design, right? And look at it this way. This design right here, all these keywords, watercolor floral, vintage wildflowers, elegant botanical, romantic flowers, all this can be added as tags that are actually viable for what we're doing, right? Now, these other keywords like baptism, christening, religious, these are what I like to call indicator keywords for future designs. I have similar concepts, right? All these flowers and things like that, they can be for a baptism card, christening invitation, anything like that, right? These things are important, and it's important to use resources over and over and over again. Like, I have these resources of these pictures of the flowers and everything. I could reuse these 100 times, right? As long as you own the art, create the art, you're good to go. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'll leave all links in the description. If you want to get the Zazzle tagging course, but you're not sure, I highly recommend before you get the course and make the investment in the course, jump into the Zazzle AI Rocket Tagger. And it's a really, really effective tool. And I've been using it for a long time now, just making this kind of stuff work. And over time, the sales add up. Now, the important thing about Zazzle is to realize is that this is portfolio-based income. So that means the more work you add to your portfolio, the more designs you add, the more work you add, the more graphics you add, the better you get, the more money you're going to make. It's just that simple. All right? I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Bye.